So today we're going to be using the Swedish method of reading the Bible to look at 1 Corinthians chapter 5. You might be thinking, why is it called the Swedish method? The lady who popularised this method of Bible reading saw it for the very first time in a university Bible study group in Sweden. The great thing about the Swedish method is how easy it is to use. So I brought a couple of friends along with me today, and the first of my friends is Garbo. Hi Garbo.
Hi Isabel.
When did you first come across the Swedish method?
A few years ago, I learnt it in a women's Bible study when a missionary came to visit, and I loved it.
Great. My second friend is Mel.
Hello.
When have you used the Swedish method of reading the Bible?
Well, most recently it's been with you, and we've been reading through Revelations together using this method, and it's been really good.
The beauty of the Swedish method is how simple it is. There's just 3 symbols that we use to help us understand what the passage says. And the first of these is a light bulb, something that shines out. That could be something that grabs your attention from the text, something that was surprising, or perhaps a repeated idea that comes up again and again. The second symbol is a question mark, something that you don't understand from the text, or it could even be a question that you'd like to ask the writer, or even God himself. The third symbol is an arrow, which reminds us that we need to apply God's word to our own lives. So let's begin, and we're going to start by reading 1 Corinthians chapter 5. It is actually reported that there is sexual immorality among you, and of a kind that even pagans do not tolerate. A man is sleeping with his father's wife, and you are proud. Shouldn't you rather have gone into mourning and have put out of your fellowship the man who has been doing this?
Your boasting is not good. Don't you know that a little yeast leavens the whole batch of dough? Get rid of the old yeast so that you may be a new unleavened batch as you already are.
Do not even eat with such people. What business is it of mine to judge those outside the church? Are you not to judge those inside? God will judge those outside. Expel the wicked person from among you.
So we're going to spend about the next 5 or 10 minutes looking at the passage again and filling out those 3 symbols: the light bulb, the question mark, and the arrow. So what light bulbs did you have?
My first one was there in verse 1, and it was about how they're doing something that even the pagans don't tolerate.
It was pretty bad, wasn't it?
And that they're proud of it as well. Yeah.
Did you have any questions from the text, Garbo?
Yes, I had difficulty with verses 6 to 8 when it mentioned yeast quite a few times. Not quite sure what that's referring to.
What actually the yeast is, what does it mean? Did you have any ideas, Mel?
Verse 7 talks about getting rid of it, so it must be something bad.
Yes.
Yes. Was there anything that you could just take away from this passage?
I was thinking about just the judgment and how we can be judgmental of other people and how we shouldn't be, but inside the church that we need to be being accountable and helping other people to be accountable.
Yes.
Definitely the responsibility that we have for each other really stuck out. What about you, Garbo?
Very similar to what you and Mel were talking about. What struck me was how seriously this passage deals with sin within the church. And for myself, I need to not condone sin in myself or within the church either.
Because it's something that's really hard to bring up with each other, isn't it?
Yes.
So we're finished with the 3 symbols that are basically the Swedish method. At EQUIP, we've added one more symbol. You'll see it at the bottom of your page. It's a speech bubble. And this bubble represents women sharing Jesus. As we read the Bible, it's good for us to think about who and what we can share with other women from what we've been learning. And so even for 1 Corinthians 5, we want to challenge you to think, who could you be sharing this with and what could you be sharing?
I really love the Swedish method because it helps us to look carefully at the words in the Bible.
What I like about the Swedish method is that it doesn't matter whether you are a new Christian or whether you have been reading the Bible for ages, everyone gets to contribute to the learning.